When you picture, like, nature's premier survival machine, you probably imagine something built like a tank, right?
Oh, absolutely. Heavy armor, slow moving, just, absorbing damage.
Exactly. But our sources for this deep dive, which are a stack of biological research papers and this absolutely wild BBC documentary, well, they paint a very different picture for you.
Yeah, I mean, the honey badger is really only the size of a medium dog.
Right. But it is relentlessly aggressive and, honestly, shockingly brilliant. So our mission today is uncovering why they are basically nature's ultimate unstoppable survival machine, and we're starting with their physical exterior.
Right, so a honey badger's skin is up to half an inch thick on the back and neck.
Half an inch.
Yeah, it's packed so densely with collagen fibers that it routinely repels lion teeth, hyena bites, and even like machete blows.
That is insane.
It is. But the real defense mechanism isn't just the thickness, it's the attachment.
Right. The research highlights that the skin is incredibly loose. Okay, let's unpack this. Is it like wearing an indestructible oversized winter coat?
Yes, exactly.
Like, if a predator grabs you from behind, you can just spin completely around inside that coat and bite the animal grabbing you.
That is a perfect analogy. That looseness means a predator simply cannot pin the badger's underlying muscles.
Wow.
Yeah, so when a leopard bites down, the badger just wriggles within its own skin, turns, and launches a counterattack aimed directly at the attacker's face.
So it turns a passive shield into an active weapon.
Precisely. Plus, that intense elasticity lets them squeeze through tight rock crevices when they're, hunting underground or hiding.
So the armor handles blunt force and teeth, but what happens when that fails? Like, say a puff adder or a cobra actually manages to drive its fangs through that thick coat.
Well, then they rely on their biochemical armor.
Okay.
Honey badgers are highly resistant to neurotoxic venom due to a targeted molecular adaptation. They have this mutation that alters the shape of their nicotinic acetylcholine receptors.
They're NAAXRs, right. So what does this all mean? Do they just brush off a cobra bite like it's nothing?
Well, normally a neurotoxin binds to these receptors to shut down the nervous system, which causes paralysis.
So because of the mutation, the shape of the receptor is different. It's like the venom has a key, but the badger's biology went and changed the locks on the door so the key won't turn.
Exactly. The neurotoxin physically cannot latch on effectively.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating here is that nature found this exact same molecular cheat code multiple times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we see this independent evolution in mongooses, hedgehogs, and pigs. They all develop the same mutated receptors to survive venomous habitats.
Wait, hang on. I need to challenge this a bit.
Sure.
The sources say the badger isn't totally immune. Like, they still experience temporary paralysis, disorientation, and they even pass out for a couple of hours.
They do, yeah.
So if I'm a cobra and the badger passes out, why don't I just eat it right then? That seems like a massive flaw in the armor.
You'd think so, but the timeline of the encounter saves them. When a badger gets bitten, its immediate reaction is a frenzied counterattack.
Oh, so they fight back immediately.
Right. It usually kills or drives off the snake before the venom takes full effect. By the time the badger passes out, the threat is gone or dead.
That is wild.
And then the venom eventually degrades in their system, and they wake up, often proceeding to just eat the very snake that bit them.
Waking up from a coma to eat your attacker is next level. But, relying on armor and venom resistance takes a massive physical toll. You can't survive purely on taking hits, which brings us to that BBC documentary footage.
Oh, the footage of Stoffel.
Yes.
He was a captive honey badger in South Africa who just kept escaping his enclosure, forcing his keepers to build an increasingly complex badger Alcatraz.
He is an animal kingdom Houdini, and it wasn't just brute force either.
Yeah.
When keepers installed double-bolted gates, he literally teamed up with his female mate.
Yeah, he'd hold the gate steady while she climbed up to unbolt the top locks.
And when they removed the trees, he dug up rocks, rolled them to the wall, and built a staircase. I mean, he even manufactured a step stool by molding a giant mud ball and letting it dry.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it really explains why they are so successful. Despite their size, honey badgers possess unusually large brains relative to their body size.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, evolutionarily, they hunt in incredibly harsh, complex environments where prey is hidden underground or in trees. To survive, they had to develop advanced spatial memory and, on-the-fly problem-solving skills.
It makes you rethink how you approach problem solving in your own life. We think of ourselves as the premier tool users, But Stoffel used a forgotten rake to vault a wall entirely through observation and spatial reasoning.
Exactly. He assessed his environment, found a flaw, and exploited it.
Right.
Their survival isn't just about being tough. It's the combination of the three factors. You have the impenetrable skin suit, the mutated receptors that neutralize neurotoxins, and a brain capable of creative engineering.
Which completely flips our initial image. We thought of a slow, heavy tank, but we found a brilliant, venom-resistant escape artist.
Truly unstoppable.
It really is. And it leaves you with this final thought. If a honey badger can spontaneously invent tools out of mud and outsmart human-engineered enclosures just by watching us, what other supposedly instinct-driven, brute force animals are secretly hiding genius-level intellects behind their armor?